You gotta be kidding me.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Bookies podcast. We hope you had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We are back from our Thanksgiving holiday week off and ready to collide the worlds of sports and comics yet again. First up this week is comics. Oh my God, plenty of books to get into, a bunch of annuals on the DC side. We have Image, Boom, Aftershock, AWA, and yeah, I guess we have Marvel. And in the news, the two biggest things are Spider-Man pre-sales, and of course, San Diego Comic-Con was last week, and they have dates for next week revealed. We will reveal them to you. And over on the sports side, we have NFL, we have college football, a big game review from the big house, and the NBA. The Warriors, even though they lost today, they're still on fire. And LeBron James, dude, you got to go. You got to go. So this is the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Let's do this. Mark, you're not on mute.
I know, I just realized that. Let's do that over.
The whole thing or just the sports?
Whatever you want.
Okay. Hello, everyone who's watching live. We're going to do our intro over again. It's okay.
Wait, my button is... Why? I know.
Wait, you're not... I can't even see you right now. What's wrong with your... All I see is the Skype logo on your thing. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my bad. If you want to do it over, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, go ahead and mute it, and then, no, it's okay. I'll just do it over. It's all right. It's okay. Doing it over a second time is not that big of a deal in the beginning because, gives us me an opportunity to get it better, and of course, it's the beginning of the episode, so I don't give a crap about editing, all that much. So, okay, gonna shoot the intro in 2, 1. Welcome in, one and all, to another episode of the Comic Bookies podcast. We hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday. We are back from our Thanksgiving holiday break. We took a week off, but we are back to collide the worlds of sports and comics. This week, up first is comic books. We have plenty of books to get into from a couple weeks ago, what we read, and new books. Annuals from DC. We have Aftershock, Image, Boom, just to name a few, and yeah, I guess we have some Marvel books to tell you as well. And the biggest news hitters this week are Spider-Man pre-sale. Tickets go on sale for the December 17th release of Spider-Man No Way Home, and San Diego Comic-Con was last week. We were not there, but we hopefully will be there because we have dates for next July's 2022 Comic-Con. And over in sports, we have NFL to get into, a huge, big game at the Big House to review in college football. And in NBA action, the Warriors finally get a loss. And LeBron James, bro, you got to go. Just go. All that, and of course, the Comic Bookie Super Contest. This is episode 134. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Let's do this.
Second time's beautiful, baby.
I know, right? Hey, your picture keeps going in and out.
I did that on purpose.
Oh, okay, cool.
I got good reasons for it, too.
Ah, there you go. We don't want to get kicked off. If we don't get kicked off for this guy right here grabbing his crotch in the picture, then whatever you were doing off camera. But cheers, sir. Cheers. I actually have like a harder beverage tonight, not just beer, but I figure it's going to...
I'm just drinking Coke.
Yeah, okay.
With my daughter's plastic forks in there, so for stirring purposes.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in right now, or tuning in live, or tuning in later and watching the video. We really appreciate the support. Hope everyone had a great Turkey Day, and let's do this. By the time you listen to this on the podcast, it'll be December.
That's why it's so fun to come and join live. You get all this extra BS and all of this banter back and forth.
I know, right? The unedited, raw version of episode 134.
But it's fun to do that. It's fun, man.
Yeah. Okay. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go back live in 3, 2, and 1. And we are back with episode 134 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much. If you are watching live on YouTube and Twitch, or if you are listening wherever you get your podcast, thank you so much. This episode, like all episodes, are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Tomorrow, the first day of December 1st, 2021, is New Comic Book Day. Head into the shop, talk to Alex. He'll get you a pull list started. He'll get you your books from this week, last week, or years ago. But go into the shop. It's a great shop. Good guys, good community. That's why we go there every single week. Well, I wish I did, but at least I get my books from there. But Mark, and all you fans out there listening, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. So as we go from, the turkey is finally being digested to my lights are already on the house, it's that, as we turn the page from like Thanksgiving, like literally I was driving home from work because I, got off of work early in the morning on Thanksgiving Day. I tuned into one of the local stations and Christmas music's already playing. So it's, it's just one of those, it's one of those things where, we love Thanksgiving like on the day, but like after Halloween, once November 1st comes, like we said a couple weeks ago, it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time. But how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. I mean, we're back. We took the week off. It was a game time decision that we made. And wanted to deliver an episode, but kind of just decided not to. Decided to spend some time with some family, some friends. Definitely enjoyed it, Mike. Had a little refresher. And now we're back in the saddle, Omicron trying to stop us. Omicron trying to reveal its ugly face during the Thanksgiving weekend while we stuff our face with some damn turkey. But definitely it has been digested. The sports and the Raiders win in Dallas, one of the biggest ratings, I believe, on Turkey Day in a long, long time that we had there between the Cowboys and the Raiders. But Raiders become victorious. Michigan finally, like you mentioned, beats. We'll talk about it later, but they finally beat the Buckeyes, and man, it was a fun-filled weekend with sports, a fun-filled weekend with family. LeBron getting into some stuff, and just crazy week, man. Excited that Sean isn't here for obviously good reasons, because his baby is about to be born probably any second, any hour, any minute, any day now.
I know.
It's
crazy.
The due date is tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, the due date is literally when everyone hopefully will be listening to this episode. December 1st is when his wife Marissa's due. So obviously, I'm not going to give too many details of like, their medical things going on, but yeah, hopefully in the next few days, hopefully by episode 135, we will be congratulating Sean on his newborn son going to come into this world. So hopefully that happens, within the week, and hopefully mom and baby are healthy, man.
Talk about a game time decision being on standby. It reminds me of some of these NASCAR. Speaking of NASCAR, everybody sees it that's watching live, everybody that's listening to the podcast. Kyle Larson, champion. Number 5, there it is. The hat, the flag, the sweater. Probably got the damn underwear too.
I told you I could bring it up between now and Daytona 500 every week. Somehow slip NASCAR and Kyle Larson into it. Come on, man.
Thank God the NASCAR season is the shortest off season that we have, about 3 months. But no, definitely, man. Sean, maybe he'll try to fit in some episodes here and there. But if you guys are Comic Bookie Sean fans out there, he's going to obviously be gone probably for, I don't know, what'd you say, maybe a couple weeks, but we might be able to fit him in. But
yeah, we
wish him all the luck, all the parents out there, all the dads. We know what it's like to, be in that mindset where your firstborn ever is going to be delivered. Mike, you have to. I'm pretty sure the second one around was a whole different feeling. I could imagine for myself it would be, although I only have one. But crazy experience, especially for your first time around, man.
It was crazy, like not to get into too graphic of details, but my wife's water didn't break with my daughter, so it wasn't like a whole freak out, like, oh my God, we got to get there, It was just like, oh, she had an appointment, and she was like, oh, nope, like we have to have the baby, like today. So that's what it was with my daughter. Like I had the only thing I had to really worry about was, oh my God, I have to go home from work real quick, grab the bag, and then get there. And then sure enough, she came 2 or 3 days later. My son though, it was the whole water breaking, holy crap,
the Hollywood scene.
Yeah, it was like and then my dad had to come from work, watch my daughter, and then we drive out to Modesto and have my son. But yeah, It's two different situations, but nerve-wracking nonetheless.
Modesto.
Hmm?
Modesto?
We had my son at Kaiser Modesto. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
so thank God that her water broke at like 11 a.m. and not like, traffic time, because it still takes like,
Hmm.
with no traffic, it still takes like a half an hour to get there, 35 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. I was just gonna say it's about half an hour. I would have thought you would have been somewhere in Tracy or
But
Livermore,
they don't
but that's
deliver.
when you said
Like they
Modesto.
don't deliver. I think it would be like, I think it's like Walnut Creek is like the next closest, and we're like, we're not driving across the Altamont, and you know what I'm saying. So we're just gonna hop two towns over, even though it takes that long. But yeah, but it was a crazy experience.
You don't want to be in Walnut Creek anyway, anywhere near no damn Nordstrom. That was crazy. Did you hear about
Oh,
that, or did you
I
see?
did see
It's like
the footage of them just.
80 people deep going into a Nordstrom, and it's scary times out here, man. It's just
Yeah, especially people who take
every
advantage of that weekend to like start their Christmas shopping, and then it's what I'm saying. It's like,
they're hitting high end stores.
and
They're
Walnut
hitting. I
Creek's not
mean,
like
Los
Walnut Creek is not
Angeles.
like some Section 8 housing ghetto. It's like a nice
I mean,
area. I've been out there a couple of times. It's nice.
you hit one of these Louis Vuitton stores, you can take. I mean, how much stuff could you grab in your hand? I mean, talking about $10,000
And
worth.
security's
Shirts
worried
are
about
what, four or
79 other
five
people. It's
hundred.
like easy to get away.
Wild.
So
And you, I mean, you want to talk about organized crime, right? Well, there it is, right there, just blatantly. It's just that sucks because then obviously retailers have to raise prices, and
yeah,
just people go out of business, and the money got to come from somewhere. So it just sucks that this is happening, kind of like in our communities, not really per se
hmm
ours, but obviously in the Bay Area in Los Angeles, and it sucks. So
yeah.
uh,
But I mean,
we'll
the
see.
holiday
But
itself was cool. I mean, obviously the Raiders beating the Cowboys it made the turkey and the stuffing and the gravy and everything taste a little bit better. The wine would taste a little bit sweeter, So that was nice. But it was cool. We just had Thanksgiving.
it was unexpected too. That's what made it a little bit
Very
nice,
unexpected.
I
I
guess.
took another
I
loss.
mean,
I'm waiting for that day though for like if Dallas would have won 33-30, it would be a double whammy. I would have lost because they didn't cover 7.5, but then the Raiders also lose. I haven't hit that double whammy yet. If the Raiders win, then that's cool. But if the Raiders lose, they actually don't cover. You know what I'm saying? So I pray to God between now and the end of the season I don't hit that situation. But
of course, the week I don't play against you either. I don't pick the
I
Raiders
know.
that week.
I know. That's right.
But
That's right. Because okay, we'll get into it later because we missed my second straight 4-0 week. So but Thanksgiving was cool. Hope yours was good. Did you have it in at your parents or on your wife's side?
those are my parents for
Oh,
sure.
nice. Out in Brentwood. Nice. So we
That's
were
right.
opposite. You came that way, and I went to the South Bay. So right on. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into the comic books.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So this week, December 1st, 2021, we are getting into it. So it now looks like we're going to have 5 Wednesdays of comic books. So this is where the annuals come in. So Batman 2021 annual, Detective Comics has an annual, Nightwing, Wonder Woman. You have, I
Previews.
think, Joker, Robin. Dude, I didn't even know that Justice League Dark actually was still a comic book, but I think because it's like a small one at the end of Justice League, they get their own annual. It's crazy. And of course, you sprinkle in just Action Comics 1037, and the Gotham City Villains has a huge $9.99 giant spectacular one, just solely based off of the Gotham City, Batman's Rogues. And then over on Marvel, you have Amazing Spider-Man 80. Look at that, 80 issues for a Marvel book. Hopefully the quality is actually good. Daredevil
Well, I got another number one that I'll talk about in a little
nice.
bit.
Daredevil number 36, The Avengers 50, Marauders 26, and Venom number 2. Aftershocks gives us Cross to Bear number 2. I actually pulled that book. I actually mentioned it a couple weeks ago. That was pretty good first issue, and I think it's only like a 4 or 5 issue miniseries, so why not? Image gives us Spawn 324, Department of Truth 14, and Deadly Class 49. Boom Studios a big list this week. Once and Future 22, Firefly 34, My Girl Buffy the Vampire Slayer 32, and Dark Blood number 5. And AWA gives us Hotel Volume 2 number 1. That was one of the OG stories from AWA actually. So that's all I have for the comic books. Mark, we were gone last week, so I really, unfortunately, kind of forgot some of the books. Not forgot, but I'd have to refresh my mind a little bit about 3 weeks ago, based off of what we would have talked about. So I have this little stack of books. I will say that I just got my books from last Wednesday. I think it was kind of delayed because of the holiday. I got some interesting ones I'm really excited to read. Wild Bullets, this new book from Source Point Press. I got Unborn, Frank Gogel's issue number 3 from that story. So 2 Source Point Presses for me. I got a handful of AWA as well, like Moths. This new story from Dark Horse, Joy Operations, from Brian Michael Bendis. I actually picked up that first issue, so we'll see if I'm going to pull that as well. Marjorie Finnegan
So
from
he's
AWA,
writing,
and another number 1. I actually picked up Black Panther number 1 from Marvel, so we'll see how that is. And of course, you sprinkle in a couple of the DC books. But as far as last week or 2 weeks ago, what did you like? Let me see. Supergirl, A Woman of Tomorrow is pretty good. Tom King, it's not like his Batman stuff where it's very, very straightforward. He writes it like he's writing Strange Adventures, where it's kind of, it's more intellectual. It's definitely more of a mature writing. Kind of have to read a bubble or two back just to kind of understand it, just in case you kind of nod off if you're reading late at night or whatnot. The Superman, Son of Kal-El, number 5. This was the least bisexual, but that's actually a decent issue.
Throwing that in with the Harley books too, and was it Batman, right?
Yeah. Poison Ivy and
has it always
Harley,
been like that?
Poison Ivy.
I'm an amateur right now.
Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn have always had like these feelings towards each other. I think for a long time. Okay. In the Harley Quinn cartoon. In the show, they're kind of intimate with each other, but it's always been an underlying thing. Like if Harley Quinn's not like glommed onto the Joker, she's kind of pursuing Pamela, Poison Ivy.
And what do you think about that? I mean, kind of get into some cool kind of comic book talk right now. Mm-hmm. That like, how is that from writer to writer and artist to artist and editor to editor? How do they keep that continuity spawning back from like when these characters come to be and how they change over time? But you got a character even like Harley Quinn that's obviously not that old. She's from the 90s, I believe, right?
Yeah, the early 90s, I believe. Yeah.
So the first appearance of Harley Quinn is from the 90s, so whatever, 30 years you say. But how did they keep that continuity, Mike? Is it something that like DC really, the editors or the editor in chief and whatnot, are they the ones that kind of? Yeah, we know they have the final say, but I mean, it's just weird to me to think that every single writer that comes and writes for a Harley Quinn or a Batman or anything that has to do with the Poison Ivy and whatnot, to remember that, to know. I mean, you have to be reading these books for a long time. You can't just be, a writer. Oh, I've never read Batman or I've never read Detective. Not that I'm saying that anybody that's probably writing comic books haven't read that or wrote that, but there might be,
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a creative director that kind of oversees that, I bet. And it's just that to me, it's an easy grab if you want to be diverse like that. If you want to involve a gay or a lesbian relationship in a story, Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy is one of the more classic ones. So it's an easy one to kind of continue.
But see, me being more like novice, as I say, right?
Yeah.
Been reading 2+ years or whatnot. Seriously, I would say that I never knew that. That's why I'm asking you right now. So it's like I'm reading the book and I'm like, oh, here they go again. Like they're not promoting it like the Son of Kal-El or John Kent, but here it is in the book. And I was like, are they going to go this way with it? And it wasn't something that I knew. So I'm glad that I asked you. And if there's some fans out there that didn't know, well, there you go. Comic bookie fans, we all learn here. We're here to share options and stuff with each other. So
I just think
I wasn't aware of that. I mean, whatever it is, what it is. But man, the story's cool. Whatever, Batman Detective. Yeah. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So
I mean, I think it's just because it's been something in continuity for so long. Even in the video games, they kind of talk to each other in a way that like kind of says it's kind of in a flirtatious way, or like Harley has feelings for Poison Ivy. Even I was playing actually, not replaying, but I'm actually for the first time playing those Arkham games. Never got a chance to when I was younger, so. I got them for cheap, so I'm playing them right now when I get a chance, when the kids are in bed and the wife's in bed as well. But yeah, I think it's, and then I think because Jonathan Kent was new, right? And then remember in, I think, crap, what was it? It was either a huge event, like one of the crises, or the Green Lantern like 80th anniversary. Remember they unveiled that it was, or maybe it was Future State or something like that. Like, wasn't it one of those ones where they unveiled that the old Green Lantern, Alan Scott, was gay? Like they revealed him to be gay, and he's been a character for decades and decades, but they finally revealed him to be gay, So I think they kind of, if it's something new, then they would kind of promote it more. Like I saw an article on that. I saw an article on, obviously it was a huge thing with Jonathan Kent, but because that Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are not a new thing, I think it's just like a back and forth kind of recurring thing. And then, of course, when you read stories like Harleen or the Criminal Sanity one, it's back to, like, you don't see that in those books because it's kind of off continuity. So you get so many things of Harley Quinn that's like back and forth, and then but if you watch things or if you read things for so long, then you kind of get used to it. So when it comes back to you finally, like we may not see that, me and you, we may see a story of Jonathan Kent dating some other guy in like 5 years. But to us, it wouldn't be big news because we already knew that was unveiled. But for some other new readers, it's like, oh dang, he was gay. Oh wow, I didn't even know that. Some people right now don't even know that he's the age that he's supposed to be. They think that he's some little kid like Damien is supposed to be. Like they didn't know the whole story of him going to a new universe. Time kind of went at a different pace. He comes back and he's like 12, 13 years older than he should be. So,
Speaking of that, did you enjoy Action? We didn't get to talk about it.
I did. When he finally goes to is it Warworld? I mean, anything with Mongol, like I said 2 weeks ago, it's going to be really good. But unfortunately, I don't want to have to read that Justice League Incarnate. I don't want to have to read that to get that story. So I hope I don't, but it's looking like a good story, and the cover for Action Comics 1037 coming out tomorrow looks badass.
Okay.
Looks cool.
Yeah, book's delayed again.
Oh yeah, I did see that for our comic book store. Unfortunately, DC's been. I mean, that's probably the 10th time this year that DC's been delayed, so that kind of sucks. But Moon Knight, it's like just flatlining for me. It's kind of flat. So once this story arc ends with this guy, this new villain, I'm gonna probably dump it. I've given it the chance. I hope that Black Panther is good, and I'll be able to kind of put it'll kind of take its place.
Ditto with that, with Hulk #1. Did you see that one? I saw it on the shelf over there at Treasure Island.
So let me guess, Donny Cates, these first arc, it's going to be really, really good, and then just like Thor, it's going to fall off for you. How was the first issue of Hulk?
First issue is pretty good. It's pretty much Bruce Banner kind of the story. You got the Hulk. And Bruce Banner pretty much got him like in this like machine, like where he's controlling him. What's the movie I'm trying to think of? Have you watched that? What is it? The Spies in Disguise. I think it's the third one where we're in Hollywood and he's like controlling the little character. Because he's been. Have you seen it? Spies in Disguise 3?
No, I haven't seen.
You haven't seen that one yet? Yeah. Okay, when you see it, you'll know. But he's basically like controlling the Hulk. Bruce Banner kind of is like turning on the world or whatever. Doesn't want. He's just. It's like a whole different side of him. So basically, he's fighting Iron Man, and they get into like this big squabble and whatnot, and it pretty much, it ends with well, actually, I don't want to say it, but it kind of ends with Bruce Banner becoming pretty much stronger than he started off to be because he got a little bit of tech from Mr. Iron Man himself. But I enjoyed it. I'm actually probably gonna pull this story because I don't get too much Marvel. Everybody here knows that, and I'm down to
None of us do.
read a little bit more Marvel that I can. Like you said, if Moon Knight doesn't do it for me, maybe this can. But I also did drop a Donny Cates story before in what was that book? Can't even think of it right now.
What the
What
one?
was the book?
Oh, crossover.
Crossover. Yes, thank
Mm-hmm.
you. Didn't it was all right. It's still going on, I believe. I didn't
Yeah.
enjoy it too much, so I dropped that one. But Hulk, he's obviously a huge character. I never read a Hulk book before,
I've
so
always
I'm
wanted
always
to. I haven't. You
you
beat me,
haven't either.
like you beat me to it. I'm trying to find some old stuff. The next time I talk to Alex, maybe sometime next year, I'm gonna try to find a nice trade paperback. That and Swamp Thing. I'm trying to get into some of those classic stories because I think Alan Moore has a really great Swamp Thing run. I actually got our friend of the show, Forrest. I actually got him for Christmas or his birthday one year. I got him the first volume of that one. So that's the one I'm going to get of that one. But Hulk also, man. Two of the Green Guys. I want to read more Green Guys.
Yeah, the Hulk. I mean, plus you see a name like Donny Cates on the cover, and you obviously try to read a couple of his books, and then him getting a big spot here and restarting another Hulk. But um. I enjoyed it. Obviously it's a number one, so it's always going to be enticing and try to suck you in. But I'll put it on the pull list, see how it goes, see what Bruce Banner does with this monster of a Hulk that's kind of matched with Mr. Stark's tech and whatnot. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's normal Marvel. I wouldn't say it's extraordinary. I wouldn't say it's subpar. I would say it's for right now it's right there with you know
Yeah.
something I'd expect from Marvel. So
Nice.
I'll
I,
pull
I
it, see
mean,
how it goes.
I think my favorite one right now, currently reading, is probably that Fantastic Four life story, that like 6 issue mini series. Super good. Love that one. I think number 4 or 5 is coming out next week. So I'm really interested in that one. But let's go. For me, I'd like to go DC and then Image, then back to DC. So DC right now is The Nice House on the Lake. Man, I think another great story. Like James Tynion is keeping me involved. He goes back in time and kind of gives you a backstory of Walter and the guy that they found in like the pyramid or the block or whatever, and he takes him inside, and so I enjoyed it. What about you?
I'm not enjoying it as much as you.
Really?
I
It's
Yeah.
super like weird and like it's a mystery and it's like sci-fi
I
because
I
it's
do
just
like the weirdness to it. I'll admit it. I like the weirdness to it. I I don't know if I enjoy so much of how he came in with the first issue giving us the doctor, the maid, the janitor, the basketball player,
yeah,
the
yeah.
chief,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I was like I read that first issue and I'm like, geez, I'm gonna have to memorize all these dudes. Well, obviously you read all the rest of the issues, you don't really have to memorize them, but
No,
it's
not
kind of
really.
like it's just, do I really know all the characters? Like, I kind of feel like they're all kind of mumbled jumbled around. You have your core characters, like right now you have the speaking of the LGBT community, we're
Oh
getting a
yeah.
little bit more of that's being showed,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that
like
Walter's
Walter and then
obviously,
Reg. The guy
yeah, Reg and
yeah, the guy they found
Walter.
was Reg. So they had like an intimate relationship and stuff.
That's
So,
right. So it's that was a huge. Obviously, that's what pretty much half of this issue was about, in my opinion. But
yeah,
you
true.
know,
But the thing is, like he tried to find the best of the best. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew the world was going to end, and he's like part of a family. Like he kind of unveils like kind of who he is and what kind of his plan was from the beginning. So I mean, to me it's getting pretty crazy. I enjoy it. I don't enjoy it as much as like a Noctera or a Department of Truth, but it's still, I'm not going to drop it obviously. Like if it's going to be
is
like what
that 6 or 7?
that was 6, but didn't Alex
Six.
say isn't this the one where it's like 3 different books of like 12 issues? Isn't this supposed to be like a long drawn out thing, or was that Undiscovered Country? I thought this one was also one of those long term things. I don't know. If
Not
it's
sure.
just the
I haven't.
12 issues, then that's fine. But I thought that he says that, he might take a break, but this is supposed to build off of something, not just the 12 issues. So, I mean, I'm all for it. But Primordial from Image, a lot better, the issue. The dog and the monkeys actually talk to each other, not just the bark bark and the woof woof and stuff, like what we talked about a couple weeks ago. But,
Yeah,
but yeah, it was good. No wonder we
that's
got it.
another one.
Like, no wonder we got it, like, 2 out of 4 weeks or whatever, because they didn't have to do crap for the second issue. So, like, oh, yeah, we can go ahead and release the third issue pretty quick. And, of course, the KGB or military police is chasing the Doctor and, his new companion. They went to an ex-Nazi satellite to kind of, figure things out. And this is super weird, super freaky, just kind of like what House on the Lake, like Nice House on the Lake. It's, if you're into this kind of stuff where it's like, whoa, what the hell? Like, like the dog and the monkey are going home, but like what, all types of this like prison, like this shapes and like what is this? It's like, like what you see on the last page of every story of like, whoa, what is that? Like, it keeps you intrigued. Like I'm interested. I'm not going to drop it. So it being a mini series, I believe. Like of course, Jeff Lemire is not going to, just like with May's book. May's book was a lot better. I was going to talk about that last week. I thought May's book was a lot better. He actually got to where he was supposed to go, and sure enough, in that story, another talking dog at the end of the book. Like I think Jeff Lemire's into these talking animals. So,
What do you think, though, Papa? You think that? I think that we're kind of reaching a point. I mean, I'm enjoying I enjoy the books I'm reading right now. I wouldn't say that there's something extraordinary. I would still say that the DC books that I'm reading, and maybe a couple months ago, that might have not been that might have not been what I would have said. I think that a couple months ago we were really into these really into these booms. Dark Blood obviously is coming out tomorrow.
it's all right.
I see that face that you just made.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
you're
it's
not.
I'm glad it's a mini series. It's okay.
It's okay, exactly.
But
A lot of these
but
books
you're right though, dude. It's like the cream of the
right now,
crop,
I feel like
like
I'm getting
Batman,
caught.
Detective. Like those are probably still the best ones we read.
Well, I'm excited to see that Human Target. Read that Human Target that also came out
That's right.
today.
That's right.
Right?
Number 3, I think. Right, 2 or 3.
That's 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And I still haven't got my Made in Korea. That one is Alex hasn't gotten it. Hopefully I get it this week. It kind of just sucks that this supply chain is still messed up that bad for just paper and ink, right?
Bro, tell me about it. Like even at my job, we're like dealing with so many, delays and shipments and shortages. It's like, and to have to still meet the due dates for the product, it's insane.
How are
right
you
now.
can't meet the due dates if you ain't got the product?
Exactly. We have to submit all these back order. I'm not going to get into the job part of it, but so yeah, but I do see where you're coming from. I do understand. So let's get into one of those. I mean, for me, it's like Department of Truth is up there, top 5. Honestly, Noctera is amazing. Scott Snyder is. I'm so sad that he's not doing like an ongoing. Like it is ongoing, but he took a huge break. Honestly, some of those AWA are good. I like the Moths. I like it's a side story to the Resistance. I just like some of these mini stories, man. Like of course the Batman and the action, all those are going to be ones that I always get, and those are top of the line, cream of the crop. But some of these other short stories, people ought to get. They ought to get because it's really good. But so Batman. Final issue of James Tynion's long run. I think he went from 81 to 117. I think Tom King went the first 80, then 81 through 117. So this is Batman 117, rounding out the Fear State. I think Detective from last week, it was also Fear State, and we have like a Fear State Omega, kind of just to put the kibosh on it. And then here comes Josh Williamson for 118, whenever that's coming out in December. What did you think of 117, man?
I got a question though, real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, so you haven't read the
No.
Detective yet?
It's sitting right here. It's like, yeah. I told you that I was excited for a couple of these books that I'm going to get into, starting Sunday at the end of my work week, possibly tomorrow night because I don't start work this week until Thursday. But who knows?
God, I want your opinion on Detective right
You know
now. I
what?
want it so bad.
All right.
I
Well, I
want it
mean,
so.
let's take a quick 15-minute break and let me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
No,
so
it's good though.
okay.
It's real good, and it's just the way that both writers, it's another thing that we talked about, the editorials and the editors in chief, and how they keep these stories mingling and meshing together. Fear State, obviously, it's a it's a whatever, something that's happening right now in the DC universe, but
Mm-hmm.
um you obviously read Batman, you know that it's gonna go on to something else completely different, like it's almost hitting a 180 on us, right, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, you have a new
Like,
character coming out in like Abyss. I don't know the direction of everything, because you have all the Bat family. You had all them like dressing up as like magistrate,
what,
officers and kind of taking
what
down um, uh,
Crane?
Simon
What
Saint,
about Crane?
huh?
Tell me what's gonna happen with Crane.
Well,
That's what I want to
he's
know.
obviously alive. I mean, like the
But
we
he
only
just
we only saw him for like one page because Miracle Molly like knocked him out, and then that was it for like him in that story. It was mainly Batman and Peacekeeper one, and then him trying to stop Miracle Molly from still detonating the bomb, and then Harley kind of talks Poison Ivy off of the cliff because the gardener somehow took a seed of her innocence and then planted it into a new Poison Ivy, and then they meshed together, so now she's good again. It was a pretty cool end to the story. I'm not sure how I like the end of, like for this to be the end of his run. I was like, it was kind of like whatever, like him and Miracle Molly, like everything's going to be okay. Like, I don't know. And I text you guys, it was like, Tinion's now gone, right? So are we going to not see Bao for a while? Is Williamson going to take Bao fam, Clown Hunters? Is he going to take Miracle Molly? I mean, I think he will. Is he even going to take the magistrate? And this whole future state, is he even going to continue this? He might have to because maybe DC wants it to go in that direction. But as far as specific characters, is he going to take, is Harley still going to be on the team? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's going to be weird. It's always so many questions when it comes to, writer changes. So it's going to be very interesting. We'll have a huge review later this month, going into closer to Christmas time. But yeah, I mean, this is but it was good. I did enjoy it. I love Miracle Molly's character too. She was like, "Are you sure it's not a trick?" And she just plugs literally plugs a USB shit into her ear, and it was like, it sees like what you see. I thought that was pretty cool, and we finally see the bat signal for the first time since before the Joker War. So that was pretty cool. But what about you? I mean, like, what direction do you think Batman's gonna go? This will be our final kind of topic before we get on to the news.
Man, it's hard to tell. Supposedly he's gonna. I think Williamson is gonna start him off with out of Gotham, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it because there's been a bunch of ads in all these DC books about him coming in. It's like a new 4 arcs, it's like a new 4-issue arc featuring international intrigue and a brand new villain. So obviously this Abyss might be European or South American or wherever, non-Gotham, non-United States. So we shall see.
Yeah. It's kind of weird it's, man, Detective and how Batman kind of just coincides so close to each other. It's kind of hard to tell where it's going to go. I'd like to see more Bao fam, but he's obviously, Clown Hunter. And with the whole Joker War being over, that whole type of, synopsis kind of being pushed to the side right now. And what do you, man, not knowing Williamson, but obviously reading a couple of his books throughout the years of recording this podcast and whatnot, I would have to say that I think Williamson's gonna put him in some type of multiverse type,
Yeah, I don't know.
why does Williamson always go that way with it though? I just
What do you think?
I don't.
What do you think about Tynion and Joker going forward? Do you think he's going to still put in the quality into Joker, even though now he's not doing Batman as much? So I hope so. I hope that it continues.
Is Tamaki still going to be doing Detective?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they have a change because they would be promoting it in all the books. I don't think it is. But I hope Jorge Molina does good on the artwork too, because how good has Jorge Jimenez and Tomeo Mori been on this Tiny and Batman run? I love this team that's been on Batman as far as the artwork plus the writing is concerned. It's been amazing. So we'll see what happens, man. We shall see what happens. So if you're done, then I'm done with comic books. Let's get into some of the news. Like I said in the intro, a lot of Spider-Man news, a lot of San Diego Comic-Con news, but just a couple of tidbits before we get into those two things. February 25th, right after my mom's birthday, my wife's birthday, is Vikings Valhalla is the new Netflix series, and they have officially have a release date for the show. So all you Vikings fans out there, I think it's just the off series, kind of like the Mayans is to the Sons of Anarchy. That starts in February of next year. So literally right after the Daytona 500, you'll be getting Vikings Valhalla. Mark, let's get into Spider-Man a little bit. So Tom Holland confirms that he is going to stay as Spider-Man in the MCU even after the Spider-Man No Way Home movie comes out and is released. But that movie comes out on December 17th. Monday was Cyber Monday, and that was the first day that you were able to pre-order tickets. Spider-Man No Way Home was the biggest pre-sale of tickets for any movie since, of course, Avengers Endgame. So that was pretty cool.
That's true.
I was not one of them.
They
I don't know if you were one of them.
Say that again?
I was not one of those people who pre-ordered a ticket. I don't think you were either. So I hope that I can find time.
Because how much didn't you say? How much were they selling for?
Well, scalpers were trying to sell them for thousands, but why? I don't know.
Because if they come with an NFT,
well, yeah, I mean, if they do that, but if someone is paying 4 figures for a movie ticket, you're stupid. Like, you're dumb.
But they're not paying for the movie ticket. They're paying for the NFC, the NFT.
The AFC or NFC? No, but no. So there isn't
Sony to get AMC and Sony to gift NFTs to Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay. Okay, so that's the reason why they're selling it for that much. I thought it was just like, oh my god, I have to see this movie like the first showing of the first freaking day, so I'm going to pay $1,000. Okay, I didn't know there was an NFT attached to it. So okay.
Yeah, and the whole AMC GameStop BS too, because I think that I read that it was AMC's highest or second highest ever ticket sale in a day. Because of this, I'm telling you, it's just you saw the whole pump on the stocks when it came to the AMC. Mm-hmm. Now you got a worldwide figure with Spider-Man. You got Sony Pictures. You got Marvel. It's just. Man, it's just I think that's the whole reason. They gave out this NFT. These things are going for I don't even know the whole story behind the NFTs. It's just still wild to me, but it goes back to
did they give out a certain amount of them, and are they identical or are they all one of a kind? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure.
Like the first 100,000 people, did they get their own NFT of something specific, or did they all get 100,000 like of the same NFT? So if you're one of 10,000 people or 100,000 people to own this NFT, then that's why they were selling it for $1,000. I don't know.
Wax Wax blockchain has been chosen by Sony Pictures and AMC Theaters for Sony Pictures Spider-Man No Way Home NFT promotion, the first ever NFT promotion between a studio and a major theatrical exhibitor. The decision to utilize Wax blockchain was based on several key benefits of Wax blockchain, including eco-friendliness and mass market accessibility. I think this is I just pulled this up real quick. It's talking about, I think it's more about the blockchain. Okay. I wanted to know more about the actual, this is actually talking more about the blockchain itself.
Oh, okay.
But, I don't know if it was that. It obviously was exclusive if they're selling tickets for 4 digits or 4 figures, like you said. But I just things are crazy right now. Yeah. I think this metaverse, Disney, Sony, with Facebook, all this shit's about to get crazy, and things are going for thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands, and if this is something really that exclusive, then hey, people are willing to pay
Yeah.
four figures for it if it's going to be worth 5 or 6 in the coming months.
I mean, if it gets good reviews and it's like, oh my god, I have to go see it. If my wife says, oh hey, let's go see it, then fine. But I'm not going to be surprised if I treat it like Shang-Chi and stuff like that, and then wait the 3 months or whatever, and it comes out on Disney Plus in March of next year, and I'm watching it that weekend. I wouldn't be surprised, but definitely I'm excited.
AMC is embracing the NFT craze. The theater chain and Sony Pictures will be offering 86,000 NFTs
Yeah.
or non-fungible tokens.
So
86K.
so 86,000 for the identical thing. One is worth $1,000. Come on now. Like if there was only like 10 of them, like a freaking Willy Wonka golden ticket, then fine. But Jesus
To
Christ.
Stubbs, AMC Premier, AMC Stubbs A-List, and AMC Investor Connect members who order advance tickets for the opening of Spider-Man No Way Home.
Did they even sell 86,000 copies of Son of Kal-El #5? It's like, come on,
The
dude.
film opens December 19th, right in time for the Christmas
17th.
holidays. Ha ha ha. After being pushed back, we're finally getting it right before Christmas. Opening night went on sale November 29th. Members who qualify receive an email with instructions on how to claim their NFT. On December 22nd, the tokens must be redeemed by March 1st.
And that's
In addition to being eco-friendly, it was essential that the process receiving
All right.
NFT.
We're good.
He's not ready for.
I don't.
I'm actually interested in this type of stuff.
This is stupid. I mean, okay, so you're not. So you're interested in that, but you're not interested in this whole stock market thing with the cars that you don't even have a car on the road and the stock's worth like hundreds or thousands of dollars. It's the same thing. Like, how is it like? It's dumb.
Okay, that's the same thing that people were telling you 12 years ago when they were telling you to invest in Bitcoin when it was $1, and you're like, it's dumb. It's dumb. Now look at it.
But how many?
How
many things? How many things are like Bitcoin? You can't come back to Bitcoin every time. That's the only thing that's like, oh my god, it's gone up that much.
You see it happening around you. Facebook is aligning itself. The metaverse, Roblox. There's all types of shit that's literally aligning itself. This blockchain BS. I mean, this AR, augmented reality, this Oculus, all this shit, man. You see it, it's right in front of you. I mean, I hate to say it. I think it's kind of dumb in a way too, which it is what it is, right? But we're old millennials, dude, and we're like, this is stuff. We thought Bitcoin was dumb, and like I said, say it again, like here we are at between 50,000-60,000 on this damn coin. So NFTs, hey, you never know, man. And I don't know, 86,000. Just because they're giving away 86,000, Michael, they didn't say they're going to be all the same. There could be 10 that are completely exclusive.
Well, then that'd be cool. I hope that there's like, oh my god, you got one of like 25 that are like, that would be cool. But okay, so
yeah, it's weird. I mean, NFT, non-fungible token, whatever. Yeah, it's hard to understand. But there's people right now that are really understand it and really into that space, and they're the ones that are probably gonna profit, because I think it's a real thing, and I don't want to be, naive to it. It's just that how long or how much do I actually want to put some time into actually understand it? And I just
get a couple raises.
We're gonna understand it someday, whether or not it tanks or whether or not it prevails. But NFTs, the biggest thing right now, next to cryptocurrencies and all that stuff. So and it's perfect, dude. I mean, AMC. You heard about it. They were at 225 before this pump. They were going to go bankrupt. That's why I sold my shares, which I hate. I mean, that's a whole nother story at that. But what I'm saying is AMC is trying to still do things to probably pay back debt, fix their balance sheets, still pump their stock and do what they got to do. They're accepting Bitcoin, Dogecoin. They're doing all types of promotions with popcorn. They're doing now promotions with Marvel and NFTs and Spider-Man. I mean, the CEO, Adam Aaron, he's pretty much he's a pretty smart guy if you ask me, but he's taking advantage of the situation and the whole landscape around him right now. And I mean, it is what it is. A lot of time spent on Spider-Man, but it's kind of the biggest thing since it happened, popped off last night and whatnot. But if you were one of the lucky people to get that email, let the comic bookies know at our email at comicbookies@gmail.com. So we'll love to know if
Yeah.
you want to share one of your 86,000 NFTs with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool story.
Yeah, the whole NFT, I mean, it just screams,
NFC.
this is for the NFT. This is for people who have more money than I do. So if I get a couple raises at work and I stop going to Disneyland every year, then maybe I'll invest more time and money into stocks and other things like that. But hey, I'm happy with the 401k. I'm happy with what I have now. So yeah,
That's old 401ks is 401 old schools. That's what it's going to be called pretty soon, man. It's just
if it gets me to retire, if it gets my kids in college or whatever, old school,
the
no school, I don't care.
401k
So
NFTs. That's the new 401. And
all right, cool. So moving
let's
on.
get into some box office numbers real quick, Mike, if you will. Do you want to or no? I got some right in front of me. On the weekend, it was Encanto, 27.2 million. My daughter, my wife went to go see it with my niece, my sister. Ghostbusters coming in right there at 24.2.
Nice.
But it actually has changed. As of on Monday, I'm seeing that House of Gucci made more today with 1.1. So on Monday, people want to see House of Gucci. But House of Gucci did come on third in over the weekend in the box office. These are the domestic numbers. Mike, you said that your daughter wanted to go see it. You're gonna go take her. Dude, what do you think, man? I think Spider-Man's actually gonna break the box office, man.
Probably.
I think it's gonna be pretty crazy if you ask me.
I mean, you'll have to look at like number of tickets, because obviously if prices are, higher than they were when they're obviously like the money. I never look at the money because obviously the money is always going to break records because the prices are only getting higher. But like number of tickets, I want to know those numbers. I don't know if they've ever unveiled number of asses in seats. Of course, money is always going to increase, but I want to know number of asses in seats.
I think it's pretty strategic. I think it's pretty strategic of what they're doing because you see how they're releasing it, like 6 days before Christmas? So they're doing it like right before to get that whole onslaught of people out of the way. And then, you're going to get all the holiday people taking the extra long vacations. What's the biggest movie at the box office right now? Everybody's have to go see No Way Home. So
if everyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas's tradition is to go to the movies, every single person is going to see Spider-Man on Christmas Day,
Exactly. And I mean,
yeah,
you're going to push something back so many times and have to put it on hold when you've been trying to make money off of it for so long. Why not try to, you've had your theme parks closed. You've had all types of, speed bumps in the road ever since this pandemic. And why not try to, make as much as you can. So,
yeah. But one thing I will definitely say that we have to go to next year, one of two, obviously. If we don't make the big one, fine. But San Diego Comic-Con was this past week, Friday through Sunday, Thanksgiving weekend. It was a smaller event, so I didn't really look into what they actually had, but I saw a bunch of like Instagram stories. They had booths and stuff. I don't know if they had any like panels or sneak peeks of like movies or TV or whatever, but it still looked like a good time to go out. I know you and Sean have never been to the San Diego Comic-Con. Silicon Valley is probably the biggest one you've been to, but they also released, I think you got on your ticket, the days for next year. For 2022, July 21st through the 24th, and April Fool's Day, April 1st through the 3rd, is WonderCon in Anaheim. I think we should go hit one of the two. I mean, that'd be pretty.
What's the exact difference? One's just San Diego, one's the LA.
And one's Anaheim. Yeah, I think. Oh, and then WonderCon's just a little smaller. Like San Diego, SDCC is like the biggest one. That and like New York Comic Con are like the two biggest Comic Cons.
Emerald City.
Yeah, Emerald City's kind of big. Chicago's got a big one. But yeah, and then WonderCon's right there. Like WonderCon's probably top 5. Top 7 as far as biggest Comic Cons, and then it would be.
I like the name,
Yeah.
San Diego Comic Con. It's just that's not original. Just San Diego, and just go to WonderCon.
I mean, it's like 51 or 52 years old. They were probably less original back then. Where are we gonna have it? San Diego sounds good. What are we gonna call it? Well, it's a Comic-Con. It's in San Diego.
Or-
San Diego Comic-Con. Let's call it
Comic-Con.
that. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's call it
And then
that.
of course when it's
Yeah.
in Anaheim,
that,
right
Shane.
across. Yeah, when it's in Anaheim, right across the highway from Little Mouse Ears,
It's got to be
right?
like,
Of course,
what magical name do we have to figure out for
be
this
so
Comic-Con? What about WonderCon? Exactly. But
make
I mean,
wonder what they're gonna come see
right?
here.
Hey, April 1st is like the opening weekend of baseball too. We can actually let's see if the A's or wherever are in Anaheim or drive down another 45 minutes south and hit a Padres game. I've never been to a Padres game at Pac Bell Park, so that could be like a nice little comic booky weekend that we could go and definitely first time going to Anaheim in a long time and not going to Disneyland, but definitely a cheaper weekend if we go do that. Go to like one day at WonderCon and then hit up a baseball game or something. That is like legit colliding the worlds of sports and comics in one weekend. So that'd be pretty cool.
That's what we strive here. That's what we strive to do here, man.
Yep. I mean, that's it for me. Hawkeye. I did see the first 2 episodes. Actually, pretty good. It's one one of those Marvel shows. It's like the first 2 episodes are like, you want more out of like 2 45, 50-minute episodes, and knowing that there are only 6. It's like, it had some good action. The story was pretty good. Of course, it had like the silly humor that Marvel always puts in and everything. But I want to see more. And unfortunately, there are only 4 more episodes in the season. So I think tomorrow, December 1st, I think every Wednesday, another 1 or 2 episodes gets released. So I'll be watching those 2 over this either tomorrow or over the weekend, and I will have more news on that. So
I heard the viewership dropped off from the first to the second episode, though. Can you tell me why, Mike? Do you know?
They were released on the same day. I'm wondering if it was just like I'm wondering if they just needed to watch. They watched the first one and then they just kind of got. Well, I mean, it got released. Didn't it get released like the day before Thanksgiving? So maybe
it's like reading a number 1 and a number 2 of issues on the comic books. Like how good? How
no,
good is the first one?
I don't think this says anything to the quality. Think about it. If they release the first 2 episodes on what day was it? Was it like on Thanksgiving Day? I forgot what day it was. So if we can figure out what day it was, let's do some investigating, right? Let's go, let's go Law and Order, So the first 2 episodes were released on, I'm delaying this on purpose, was November 24th. So that was literally the day before Thanksgiving, last Wednesday. So people are getting ready for the holiday. They're either traveling or whatever, but you know what? Let's squeeze in 1 episode. Let's squeeze in the first episode of Hawkeye, and then here comes Thanksgiving, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You're doing everything with family. It's now Tuesday. You probably still haven't gotten around to watching it because now you're back at work on Monday. That's why the viewership might be down from episode 2, because people only had time to watch the first one. With my cool work schedule, I was able to watch both of them back to back. So I don't think it says anything to the quality of the first episode, I'm dumping this. You could say that because you're so confused about the first episode of WandaVision, but this one, no, I think it had something to do with the holiday and people having so much stuff to do to prepare for Thanksgiving. That's my opinion.
Could be.
It could be, or it could be exactly what you're saying. Like, oh no, it was crap. So people just didn't watch the second episode. I don't know. I'm just trying to think like outside the box and just the context of what day it was. It was literally Thanksgiving Eve. But yeah, I thought it was good.
I think it could have been with the actor, right? It's not the same the Hawkeye that we all know and love.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jeremy Renner.
Oh, so he is in it.
Yeah, no, he's in it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
They're just unveiling a new Hawkeye, like Lady Hawkeye, which I did find out that her first appearance was in Young Avengers #1 in like 2000 something. So
what's the point of them doing all these though? Are they gonna build something bigger?
Yeah,
with all these.
I think instead of doing just blockbuster movies, it's like we already have Disney Plus and we already have the money to do hella movies. So let's just do all these TV shows. So like in between all these movies, you also have a TV show to watch, and I think they kind of go together. Like when you get this Doctor Strange and Spider-Man and Hulk. Love and Thunder, it's going to somehow mesh with, because we saw the multiverse opening up with Loki and with WandaVision. So we're going to get that with Spider-Man. It's all going to come together in some sort of like crazy meshed up thing. It's all going to tie in. Even What If.
Tinyan?
Huh?
It's all gonna Tinyan?
It's all going to tiny in. Yeah, right. So, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. That's it for the comic book. So we're going to take a short break, grab another drink, go to the bathroom. But thank you so much for watching and listening. Watching and listening to the Comic Bookies podcast, episode 134. We will be right back for the sports section. Stay tuned, folks. And as if music, poop. And as the music fades out, we are back with episode 134 of the Comic Bookies podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Like always, we are brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Email us at thecomicbookies@gmail.com. And of course, subscribe or follow to our YouTube and Twitch channels to get all the latest live streams. And when we actually hop back on it, we will get you shortly, I promise, some videos and some shorts. But let's get into some sports there, Mark. You see the picture if you're watching live of our friend LeBum James. So let's get into a little bit of NBA action. The Warriors finally lose in Phoenix. You actually told us earlier this week, we were texting each other, and you said it's a big week for the Warriors. They have the Suns twice this week. So the NBA, I got to tell you, I'm not watching it more. And not because, I don't, it's not like, oh, I hate the NBA, blah, blah, blah. I just never really find the time. It's kind of like baseball, hockey, and basketball are those sports where I turn it on, turn the volume up, and I kind of like cook dinner or play with the kids or do something in the background. Football is really the only sport where I can like actually sit down on my ass and for 3 hours and do nothing but watch that sport. Everything else, even NASCAR, is like, oh, like I can fold laundry, I can go disappear and empty the gutters or put the Christmas lights up and come back and like, oh, a quarter later something else has happened, like here's a score or whatever. So yeah, I just haven't really gotten into the actual sport, but I know because the Warriors are better, I know it's funner to watch.
Yeah, and the Warriors obviously going down tonight in Phoenix to the Suns. Even though they have the same record, the Suns have won 17 in a row.
Oh, wow.
18-3, both teams' record. And obviously the Suns right now with the tiebreaker after winning tonight, becoming victorious. I believe they won by 7 or 8 points or something. So they covered the spread as well. In the East, you have Brooklyn obviously having a pretty good showing tonight. James Harden doing pretty good, scoring like 15 points in the first quarter, over under of 22.5 today that he had, but I think he got there pretty easily. Chicago Bulls second, 1.5 games behind the Heat. Our boy Tyler Hero still holding steadily. The East is a lot closer, Mike, right now, with a lot of teams 2-3 games behind. First place, Brooklyn with the Wizards 2 games, Bucks 2 games, Hornets 3 games. And in the West, like I said, the next closest team is the Jazz behind the Warriors and the Suns with 4 games behind. And then you got Dallas, Memphis, the Clippers, Minnesota, the Lakers, all 7 games behind, with the Portland Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets respectively 7.5 games behind in this young season. I mean, it's been pretty exciting so far. We talked about it before. Prior episodes, 133, we talked about how a lot of parody, how even though you're not watching as much, you can kind of tell that, there is a little bit more parody, and it's always good. Obviously, when the New York Knickerbockers are playing good, it's always good when, the Chicago Bulls are up there contending for us millennials that, saw Jordan do it, grew up in the 90s and whatnot. And even for us in the Bay Area to see the Golden State Warriors after sucking for so many years through the Run TMC and, even the We Believe years that were
still packing the arena, bro.
Still pack the arena out there in Oakland, in Oakland. Now they're in San Francisco. It's a different vibe. Probably still packing the arena with all that .com money out there in the city by the bay.
I actually saw the arena the other day, bro.
You saw it?
Yeah. Yesterday I went to go visit my sister-in-law and her new baby girl, who actually shares a birthday with me. So there goes my birthday for the rest of my life. No, but we went over the Bay Bridge because they live in right by San Francisco, and we saw it. I was like, hey, to my wife, hey, can we go over there and check it out? She goes, no, we don't have time, and who knows about Embarcadero and that whole area, if it's going to take us a half an hour itself just to get there and get out of there. And, of course we had the kids in the back or whatever. But yeah, no, I saw it for like the second or third time since it's been fully up. Still haven't even driven by it, so,
You got to rent those little scooters. That's how you get. That's the
little,
easiest way to
little Segway
Get around San Francisco,
or
man.
those go cars, bro. You and your wife have to try the go cars, the little yellow cars you see in the city. It's super fun, and it has the speakers on the side that gives you a tour, dude. It was really fun. It was like me and my wife had a day. Of course, it was when when I used to do romantic things. I try now, but back then it was I tried a lot harder. I took her out for the day, did the go kart, and took her to a Giants game because she's a Giants fan. But yeah, dude, like one of those days, like either whether it's I think they have them in San Diego and like a couple other big cities, but it's fun. It's super fun, man.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of scared of those things because I was working out there in the city one time and one of those damn things, the back tire, because obviously it's got the two tires in the front and the one in the back, and
Yeah.
the back one got stuck in the cable car, the line for the cable car. That's
Oh.
like and it just, dude, I hear like I'm like, what the hell? I look back and I'm working right there, building a storefront and whatnot. I look back and the damn thing flipped over. And the people, I was like,
Well,
geez,
we did
what
wear
the hell?
helmets, so good. That's a
Well,
good thing.
yeah, I mean, they got out. They were good. Nothing happened. It wasn't serious. But I guess when the guy was turning, the little back tire got stuck in the railway, if you will. And dude just flipped him and his chick over, probably on a date like you. And there it goes, man, upside down, topsy turvy. But
Yeah.
I'll probably stay away from one of those. I'd rather ride the Harley through the city, man,
Oh,
because
there
at
you
least you
go.
can get through. At least you can get through traffic. That thing ain't doing you no damn good. No damn good.
I know, but
You
it's
can't split traffic in
it's like one of
that
those
thing.
things where it's like you kind of like take a tour of it too. Like I've been down to San Diego, like we've been down to San Diego for a couple guys trips and stuff, and I've always wanted to do one of those things where it's like the bar, and then you're like pedaling like a bike. And then like there's like a bartender, remember like those things that we saw? I was like, I've always wanted to try that too. Like one of those, I forgot what they're called.
Total white boy shit,
Dude,
dude, right there.
it's fun, it's fun.
And it's got to be San Diego, right?
Right, and then Livermore has the wine trains or the wine buses. You get to like take a tour to different wineries and do that stuff. Anyways, get back on sports. So
Yeah.
so back to the NBA though. Like LeBron James, like I said in the intro, dude, this guy's got to go. He's doing way too much. I mean, he
Yeah,
first of
Cantor's
all,
exposing him.
huh?
Ernest Cantor Freedom is exposing him right now, dude.
Right? I know, right? But I mean, come on, dude. You do the whole thing with what's his name from the 76ers. Like, come on, that was hell of on purpose. And then you only get one game, of course, because you're LeBron James. And then you only get like a small, like $20,000 or $30,000 fine for like straight
And
up
then he goes
grabbing your
all Karen
nuts.
on the fan and gets him kicked out. This is all happening in the
Yeah,
same week, right?
I know.
So he's getting called out by Cantor. He's getting he's bush leaguing some Isaiah Stewart
Yeah,
from the
Stewart.
Detroit
Detroit,
Pistons. Yeah,
sorry. Yeah,
he's
Detroit.
yeah, Detroit Pistons. He's like, obviously, I mean, it didn't look at that accidental to me, right? You
No.
saw he came around with it. It was kind of like, I don't even want to mention it, but Tony Stewart when he was on that dirt track, you don't remember. I'm not even gonna mention it. Brat brat. It came around, hit the little gas when the guy came onto the dirt, and whole new rules came into place. Even NASCAR started it. You can't get out of the car when there's an accident and whatnot because of whatever. It's if you want to look it up, look up
Oh,
Tony
is this guy
Stewart.
when he killed the
Tony
guy?
Stewart. Tony Stewart death dirt track. Just look it up if
Yeah.
you guys want to know it.
But I
But
mean, like that was not like he like whether or not he tried to hit him in the face, he tried to like get off of me.
yeah,
Like he was going to hit him in the
yeah.
chest, in the neck, or somewhere. He was ready to hit him with that throw with that hand.
So within like a week or two, you have that incident. You have Enos Cantor Freedom calling him out, obviously having pictorial images on his sneakers when they played him.
That was
you
funny.
know. Then you have now you have him acting like a Karen, getting fans tossed out. You got him getting like suspended. He's like over there holding his Balzac and whatnot. It's just, dude's kind of losing it. I know he wants one more year he's holding on for a couple more years. I think he wants to play with his son, Bronny.
Bronny, yeah.
Right now, the Lakers are still holding tight at a like 7-8. Well, it depends on your book. I'd say in the 8-9 range.
Mhm.
I think that I just think that's a long shot. I think the Lakers have no chance this year. I think that what we said when we were obviously recording during that bubble ball, right? when they were all played down there in Orlando when COVID year and they won the championship. We all knew it was a fluke, kind of
Yeah.
like I hate to say it, but Alex hates when we say it because he wanted to win so bad for the Dodgers this year because he didn't like people saying that it was a fluke that they only had to play 6 games during that COVID World Series year. But
That was
that's
BS
another
though.
story. That was, I mean, six. It's a little bit different. Bubble ball, okay, I get it. Even though I feel like it's a little bit different, you know. But with 60 games, when you usually play 160,
162, yeah.
that's 162 exactly, 102 games
Yeah,
less.
come on, dude.
But nonetheless, Golden State, Brooklyn still pretty much kind of your co-favorites here. I think Brooklyn's still a little bit ahead. Obviously, the Warriors winning or losing tonight, but with playing Phoenix coming up, I think it's Thursday or Friday they play them again, and then obviously again on Christmas Day. That's going to be huge with those good matchups. I don't know if the game's going to be in San Francisco or in Phoenix. I think it might be at home in San Francisco, but crazy. Still got the Chicago Bulls sitting at about 30-1 to win a championship. I mean, you got the second team currently sitting in the East at 30-1 to win the championship. The Heat, that are actually the third team in the East, have better odds or, less odds at 12-1 to win the championship. So what does that tell you what odds makers are thinking about this young team over there in Chi-City? I think that Chicago is real good this year. I think that basketball teams take a little bit of time to gel. It's very hard that a basketball team just comes out the very first year, unless it's like an anomaly that kind of happens with like what happened with the Warriors with the injuries with KD and the injuries with Klay Thompson, that the Raptors were able to just acquire, Kawhi Leonard for that 1 year and make it happen in Toronto with DeRozan and whatnot. So that type of stuff doesn't really happen in the NBA. I think the Chicago Bulls are probably going to have another year or two to really get to the, the top, pinnacle in the East, especially in the NBA. But we'll see what happens, man. A lot of good teams here with a lot of long odds, dude.
Yeah.
The
The Warriors play at Phoenix
on Christmas.
Yeah, 2 p.m.
Okay.
So at least it's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So
Cool.
yeah. So
There are a lot of good teams here with long odds, man.
yeah, we'll see.
But like you say, the NBA comes down to those couple teams, and right now you're pretty much pricing in. I can't believe the Suns. I can't believe the Lakers have better odds to win right now than the Suns at 8-1, and the Suns are 13-1.
Hey,
That's ridiculous.
But like you say
This
every
is
weekend,
odds.
man, we're getting into football right now. But like you say, Vegas knows. They know something. Vegas never loses. So I hope to God that's not true, but you never know. But hey, did you know that it's freaking championship week? That snuck up on us. It's championship week for college football.
Of course I knew.
Yeah, I mean, so Allegiant Stadium, I don't know, is this the first year that they've been doing the Pac-12 championship? Because they have a long contract.
Yes.
Huh?
And I like the Ducks in that game, by the way.
Okay, so I'm going to run it down. So you have the Oregon against Utah in the Pac-12 championship. Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship, number 9 Baylor, number 5 Oklahoma State. Utah State against number 19 San Diego State for the Mountain West Championship game in Carson, California. Appalachian State, number 24 Louisiana in the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. Georgia and Alabama in the SEC Championship game at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Number 21 Houston against number 4 Cincinnati in Cincinnati, Ohio. That doesn't seem fair. Number 2 Michigan versus number 13 Iowa. That's pretty crazy. No Penn State, no Michigan State, no Ohio State. Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, and of course the ACC Championship, a Clemson-less ACC Championship at that, with number 15 Pitt and number 16 Wake Forest at the Bank of America Stadium where the Panthers play in Charlotte, North Carolina. So any of those jump out to you? I hate that it's on Friday evenings. Some of these games that where I have to work, and so is Saturday, but at least I'll get to watch the SEC Championship game, the whole game, also the Cincinnati game as well. But yeah, so what matchups do you like this weekend? Anything that you would lay some coin on?
We can't get into these matchups real quick without talking about these coaches. Man, what a shakeup real
Oh, I know,
quick.
right?
Just to run it,
Uh,
man, Chip Kelly, I
So
mean, Brian Kelly is leaving your brother's Notre Dame to go to LSU,
LSU,
get some talent. You got Lincoln Riley that has nothing to do, wants nothing to do with the SEC, going to your alma mater. No, sorry, not
not
your
my
alma
alma
mater,
mater.
but
I wish it
but
was.
your yeah, your fight on Trojans, man. He's obviously gonna want to come to. What a move for him. If you think about it, he's not stupid. He knows what he's doing. You come into this weak ass conference, you're gonna be able to recruit like hell.
Yeah,
Hopefully, you can keep some of these California boys out here on the West
they always
Coast.
want to
So
go to
we
freaking SEC country, or they want
you
to go to
know
Texas.
hey, the rising ship lifts a rising tide lifts all boats. So if it could be, Oregon and USC kind of like running the Pac-12 again, kind of bring Stanford back to prominence a little bit more, kind of get Cal
Even
more in the
Cal,
mix.
yeah.
UCLA's been a little bit better this season, but man, we need the Pac-12 up there. So it's obviously a good hire. They he didn't want to go into the SEC and get shellacked with that weak ass Oklahoma Big 12 defense. But, nonetheless, Oklahoma State actually makes the Big 12 title game against number 9 Baylor. It's not Oklahoma this year for the first time. So
Yeah.
he bounced quick. So Oregon on Friday against Utah. As I mentioned earlier, I like Oregon plus the points. Utah already beat them, pretty much took Oregon out of playoff contention a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
I think this is kind of a revenge type of game for them. It's obviously a Legion Stadium. I like Oregon. Oregon kind of seems to play on in domes, pretty decent from history that I've seen.
It's
Whatever, but
go ahead.
I've also gotten smoked a lot of times on Oregon, so don't take my word for it. Go ahead.
No, but it's a big couple weeks, because then Jim Harbaugh in that snowy game in Ann Arbor at the Big House, Michigan finally beats Ohio State. They were trying to avoid a 6-game losing streak under Jim Harbaugh. I think they were on like an 8 or 9-game losing streak overall. But that's good for them that they're now in the Big Ten championship game. And then you have, what was I thinking about? Oh yeah, and then the playoff 4. You have 2 SEC teams in Georgia and Alabama, and now you have Michigan in the top 4 along with Cincinnati, who's undefeated, playing against. Wouldn't that be the shit if Houston beat Cincinnati? They didn't even play each other this year, which is crazy. I mean, I know that happens a lot, but Houston versus Cincinnati, they're both 8-0 in the American Athletic Conference. So yeah, so we'll see, man. We'll see how that shakes up.
Man.
Like I was telling you and my brother earlier this year, for some reason, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a lot of money was coming in on Notre Dame to make that Final Four. So who knows? I don't see Notre Dame having another game. I don't think so. Week 15 is next week. No, it's just the Army-Navy game and then the bowl game. So, I mean, if Cincinnati ends up losing, wouldn't that be cool if Notre Dame squeaks into that final spot? Who would sneak in? Who is number 5? Is it Notre Dame?
It very well could be. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma State, if they if they're gonna beat Baylor, they're gonna have to have things
Notre
go their
Dame's
way.
6. Who's number 5?
Huh?
Notre Dame's number 6 as far as what ESPN has. Ohio State's number 7. Oklahoma State's number 5. Wow. Okay. So if Oklahoma State wins the Big 12 championship and Cincinnati loses, or if Michigan loses, if either one of those teams is going to drop out, I mean, if Alabama loses, what is it? That could be their 3rd loss of the season. Would they stay? They wouldn't stay in the finals, right? Oh no, they've only they've only lost once. So would a 2-loss Alabama team stay in the Final Four? I don't think so. I don't think so.
I mean, you have a 1-loss Michigan, a 0-loss Cincinnati, and then you have
if Michigan,
an Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State could get in there.
If Oklahoma State, Cincinnati, and Michigan all win handedly, and Alabama loses, we could have those 3 teams, and that's pretty much a cakewalk for Georgia to win the national championship, in my opinion.
I mean, is it not already? I'm just excited.
Yeah, true.
This might be better than a national championship game that we're going to see here in 1 versus 3.
Yeah, true.
So coming up at 1 p.m. Pacific, I believe. So
yeah, so good. So good games overall. Big storylines in college football. I hope that that Lincoln Riley can bring USC, like you said, back to the promised land, to prominence, to where the Carson Palmer, and then after that, the Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush days of old, national championships, at least making it, beating just annihilating Oklahoma that one year in the Orange Bowl, and then losing actually the Rose Bowl to Vince Young in Texas, which was an amazing game, even though I didn't like the outcome. But yeah.
What if Harbaugh just drops an egg, dude? Oh, after beating your rival and
don't
getting
do
to
that.
this game. Oh.
Yeah, don't do that. So we'll see.
I mean, against Iowa,
yeah,
they're 10.5-point favorites, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Iowa's one of those teams that come to play. It's games like this, old coach, smash mouth football, Big Ten. Man.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Hopefully for all those Blue fans in Portnoy, they can survive that one.
There you go. So let's go. So let's go to the NFL and our Super Contest. So the Raiders get the win on Thursday against the Cowboys. A crazy back and forth game. I thought it was over a bunch of different times, but they squeak one out. They actually give up the lead and go into overtime, and then. At that point, I'm like, all right, I lose my bet because I had the Cowboys minus 7.5. So I was like, I lose the bet automatically. Like, I can't cover. So the Raiders, please win. And they ended up, stopping them. The Cowboys got the ball first. They stopped them, and they kicked a field goal to win the game. So here we go. The Raiders are at home against the Washington Redskins this week. The 49ers also win again, I think, for the third straight week, and they're in Seattle, minus 3.5. So anything else from last week before we get into this week's picks? Congratulations. I think you pretty much won. Sean and yourself go 3-1, but since he's not here, you get the credit for the win last week. The week that we weren't here last week, Thanksgiving, I went 4-0 for the second straight time. So literally, the week that we did not record, I could not bask in the glory of being in first place, because now you go 3-1, I go 2-2 last week, and now you're literally a half a game back ahead of me. So, but I did bump into second place. I did, taste first place for a week. But here we go, week number 13.
What stood out to you last week, man? Pittsburgh getting completely annihilated by Cincinnati. You got Miami getting a win. You got
Sean finally getting a win with Miami.
You got Houston that wanted to beat up on Tennessee and then couldn't do shit diddly squat against the New York Jets.
The Seahawks are done. Watching that game last night a little bit, like Russell Wilson, he is not 100%. He needs to take some time off. The Browns and Ravens game scared the hell out of me. I had to win that game to go 2-2. So, the Rams, it was funny. There were actually 4 teams who did not win a game all November long. I think it was the Jaguars, the Saints, the Seahawks, and the Rams actually did not win a game in all the month of November. Yeah, the Rams went 0-3 in November.
Wow.
I think they went in there 7-1. I also think they had a bye in there, but they went 0-3 in the month of November. So, are the Bills back? They go into New Orleans. New Orleans goes 0-4 in the month of November, and they put a hurting on them. That was funny. You and Sean both win a game on Thanksgiving, and I lose the game, but I counted as a win because the Raiders won. So that's pretty much it. Ooh. The Patriots are scaring the hell out of me. I know Bill Belichick in November is like nails, even though, but the NFC East is so up and down right now. I mean, it's the Cowboys' division to win to lose. It's their division, but the other 3 teams are like I don't know what to think. Like the Eagles got their first win at home. Last week that was one of my 2 gimme picks. So actually, I went 5-0 at one point 2 weeks ago. But the Jets, dude. That's what I told you, man. I was like, the Jets are getting points against Houston, taking the Jets. So
you called that one.
Yeah, but you also called as soon as I texted you guys, Chargers minus 3.5. You were just like, trap. I was like, huh? I should have taken that pick back, dude. That was, dude, after the first quarter, I was like, this is horseshit, dude. Come on.
You like that one,
I
huh?
know, right? You should have taken that against. Like, as soon as you said trap, I should have been like, okay, so you're taking Denver, right? Like that was a gimme win. You would have gone 4-0 if you didn't. What was the game that you actually lost last week?
Was it Seattle?
Did you take No, Sean. Did you take Seattle?
I can't remember what was the game that I lost. Let me see.
You lost Jacksonville.
Yeah,
You lost
no.
Jacksonville. It was an even pick'em, and you lost. They lost to Atlanta, I
Okay,
think.
yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sean had Seattle. That was his one loss, was Seattle last week.
Okay.
Okay, so this week, Mark, you go 3-1, so does Sean. I have his picks with me right here. So you go first, Sean goes second, and I go third. What say you for the start of Week 13? Thursday Night Football is Cowboys at Saints. We have Sunday Night Football is the Broncos at Chiefs, an AFC West matchup, and an AFC East matchup on Monday Night Football, Patriots at the Bills.
Well, for my first pick, I'm going to go with my favorite pick that I've been going with so far. I don't know why. I don't know why I do this to myself. And no, Mike, it isn't the Minnesota Vikings or who's playing against them. It is our Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, good. So we're going to have a matchup this week.
I think football team has been pretty good. I think that the Raiders are a little bit better. I think that they're coming back home. I think that they're in the hunt. And I just kind of like what I see from them. Do I like? I wish it was. What line do you have there, Mike? I got 2.5. Mm-hmm. Is that what you're giving me?
2.5.
So I got 2.5. I wish that it was 3 because it's kind of like a bait me line with that 2.5. You don't even have to give up the field goal. Why? I don't know why, but I do know that I do kind of like the Vegas Raiders, knowing that they got, this division still in the clutches with 3 teams sitting at 6-5, with Kansas City with just barely one more win at 7-4. How the tables have turned in this division, but I mean, they're all still here for the taking. Vegas is looking at it like they know this is a winnable game when they have, obviously they got the Chargers having to go into Cincinnati. That's going to be tough for them. You're going to have Denver going into Denver going into Kansas City in a way. I mean, we want Denver to win that game, right? So I think that Vegas Raiders can one up. They feel like they can gain a game on their competition here. So I'll take the Las Vegas Raiders at home at 1:05 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, laying 2.5 points against the Washington football team.
If the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers, all 3 of them win, then all 4 teams are 7-5.
That's right.
God damn. Because we have 6-5 for the Raiders, Broncos, and Chargers, and then the Chiefs are 7-4. So that'd be pretty cool.
But the Chargers are going to lose.
Who are they playing? In Cincinnati? Okay. I can see that, especially since Cincinnati, at home, only favored by 3. That looks kind of fishy, like how LA's been playing lately. They can't stop anybody on defense, especially on the ground. Joe Mixon's going to go silly at home, but why is it only 3? Scares me.
Yeah, you're right. Especially after Cincy pounding on their arch rival in Pittsburgh last week. That scares me.
Like, what is it? It looks like it's just cloudy, 39 degrees. It's just cold. Like,
we're getting weather reports here,
right?
We're getting. What kind of handicapping are you guys getting here? Man, comic bookies deliver on all fronts. Come on, dude.
I go 4-0 2 weeks in a row, and I go 2-2 because I'm like not in front of my computer. I just like pick that one. No, man, I was pissed. Oh man, Sean took one of my picks. Damn it. Sean's going to go. So Sean, I'm going to give Sean's analysis for him. The Rams went 0-3 in the month of November. They're at home against Jacksonville. So it's like, like how they're playing, -13. Why would you ever lay those points down? The Jaguars are 0-4 at home. They still are crap. They're not a good team. So Sean sees the Rams bouncing back and not only winning, but winning by at least 2 touchdowns. So he's taking the LA Rams -13. Damn, I was going to pick that late just in case I was actually able to get it. My first pick, Let's see. My first pick is I'm going to go simply because they've been playing just lights out. They're 5-0 away from home. It's prime time. It's Belichick. It's November. Actually, technically, it's going to be December, but it's still late in the season. Mac Jones has been playing pretty well. The Bills did get that big win on the road in New Orleans on Thanksgiving, so they both have a long week to prepare for this. But it's just I just feel it's going to be a close game. I see the Patriots winning this game as well, so I'll take the points. Give me Patriots plus 2.5 in Buffalo. I don't necessarily like it a lot, but
you don't like it a lot. I love it a lot.
So, Mark, your second pick.
Okay, I think that Pittsburgh are getting kind of sick of looking like the silly team in the AFC North. I think that they've been getting beat up. The Ravens with Mr. He's obviously got a little bit to work on, throwing 4 interceptions in that Sunday night matchup against the Browns. They were able to pull it off. Jesus, can't think of his name. What's his name? The damn quarterback for the Ravens.
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson, Mr. Louisville himself. Miss Jackson. Yes, 4 picks isn't going to get it done.
My God. When you sent me that text, it was like interception. I was like, good God, I am not covering this game. And I didn't even look for like another 3 or 4 hours. That was the night we watched Hawkeye. And I looked back, and I was like, oh, thank God. They won by 6. I covered.
They were still able to win after he threw 4 interceptions. He's going to have to clean it up. Although he's going to have to try to clean it up against a mad Pittsburgh team. This is a rivalry game. This is a home dog getting a hook at plus 4.5. I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home at 4:25 Eastern time over there in the Steel City to make something happen against these Baltimore Ravens and Mike Tomlin.
Steelers.
Finally get a win.
They're 3-2-1 at home, plus 4.5 at home against division rivals Baltimore Ravens. So Sean's next pick. Sean's laying wood this week. He doesn't believe what Denver did last week. Man, shit. He doesn't believe what they did at home against LA. He's going to go into looks like a beautiful evening in Kansas City. Sunny, partly cloudy, but I mean, come 5:20 p.m. Our time, that's 7:20. It's pitch black. It's definitely not going to be 57 degrees at start of game, but he's taking Kansas City minus 10 at home against the Broncos. So the Broncos have been playing okay. They've actually been beating some teams, but he believes in the Chiefs. So Sean, Kansas City.
He believes in the Beefs.
He believes in the Beefs. And so he's laying a combined point so far of minus 23 so far in his first couple picks. I did that a few weeks ago where I laid like 40 total points, but I won 2 out of the 3 games. So my next pick,
the Texans.
Huh? What? The Texans?
The Texans.
Texans? No, I'm no, come on now. I can't do that. Let's see. I'm not cheating, but I kind of cheated. Like I saw that Sean also didn't take Washington, so I can wait to take Washington last. Let's go with a team that is 6-0 on the road this year. Hopefully, praying to God for not only this pick but my fantasy team that the quarterback is actually healthy. And you know what? That was weird. One of the 2 weeks that I went undefeated, I think the first week, or I forgot what it was. I picked Arizona. Remember, to cover in Seattle. Kyler Murray didn't even play, and they still covered. And then Big Ben ended up playing that night. Remember, they covered against the Chargers. But at first, I almost had 2 out of my 4 picks not have the starting quarterbacks, and I had no idea. Not knowing anything right now, too, but the coach, Kingsbury, is confident that he will play this weekend, so I'm taking the Cardinals. I hate that 7.5, but to go into Chicago, who's still kind of one of those roller coaster teams too, but 6-0 away from home from Arizona. They've only given up 188 points this year, so I think they're going to shut him down. I see the Bears scoring less than 14 points this week. So Arizona Cardinals minus 7.5.
Okay.
I can see a 4-0 this week, or I can see an 0-4. Honestly, with my picks so far.
Sean thinking about Miami again or what?
Let me see.
Miami's not too bad actually this week
What do you think? What's your next pick?
against the Giants after giving a win in Strahan's retirement game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
They lost when
That
they lost when Eli came back, but they won when Strahan.
so I think I'm gonna have to. Here we go. I think I'm gonna have to go. I might have to go against you, brother.
All right.
There it is. I think I'm gonna have to go against you, and I'm gonna have to take the Buffalo Bills, man. Prime time
Yeah, this is gonna be a good. It's gonna be a good
minus.
matchup, man. I kind of went either way. I mean, I made
I think
arguments for
New.
myself in my head going both ways, but I ended up, kind of favoring Patriots. It was 51-49, Patriots in my head.
I like how they're underdogs. I just think that they've been playing so good. I think that it's a little bit of this week to week lead that we've been seeing this year. I think that they have to retrace back, although it's not very much climate change for them. It's not much of a travel distance as well. So that fares well for them. But I think I'll just take the Bills with being a short favorite, knowing that this is a big game on the schedule for them. Obviously, they're trying to catch them with obviously the Patriots having 8 wins to 4 losses, the Bills having 7 wins to 4 losses, obviously with the bye in hand there. But
Hmm.
I think Buffalo's going to obviously really, really want this win, and I think they're going to play tough, and I think they're at home, and I think it's prime time, and I don't trust the quarterback that much, but nonetheless, I'll go with them. But
Okay.
man, that rookie of the year is looking pretty good for Mac Jones, man.
All right. Yep.
What
True.
Belichick does with these quarterbacks, man. The second coming, huh? You telling me Mac Jones gets to a Super Bowl in the next 3 years? Mike's gonna be vomiting all over himself, vomiting,
Nah.
dude,
I
just
mean,
throwing up, regurgitating, dude.
at this point in my life, during our tenure as Raider fans, we've seen so much like like
Does Mac
like
Jones get to a Super Bowl before Derek Carr?
yes.
Oh God.
Yes. Oh
Oh
God.
God.
Yes, he does.
Oh
I
God.
say yes. As long as Bill Belichick's there, he's going to get to a Super Bowl. He'd get me to Super Bowl before Derek Carr and the Raiders. But
How many more coaches does Derek Carr have before Belichick? Before Mac Jones only has Belichick. Jeez.
God,
And Belichick's like 67, 68, 70s. He's getting up there.
yeah, true. I mean, he doesn't have a hell of a lot of years left, but we'll see. Sean thanks you for talking about Miami, but not taking them because Sean is taking his favorite team again at home against the New York
Of
Giants. He's taking
course.
Miami -5.
See?
Oh man, this guy with his Will Smith gif every week going to
Yeah.
Miami. Let's see. I'm gonna give myself. Oh, I actually. No, I have to make this pick now because I'm gonna be afraid. It's one of two picks, dude. Dang it. It's one. So
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 take
it's
mine.
so it's one of two. I'm gonna gamble this week, because this is just a fun thing, right? I'm taking Washington because I'm gonna keep the mojo going. I have no, analysis for you. I just like going against the Raiders because if they lose, especially being favorites now, if they lose, then at least hey, let's go Raiders winning by 2 this week. Or winning by 1. So they win the game and Washington covers. But I'm going to take Washington plus 2.5, and I'm going to maybe think that you're going to make my final decision for me because I'm torn on 2 games. But go ahead and so did you take? Okay, so you took Sean's Las Vegas. He had them 4th. He had Pittsburgh plus 4.5 also. So Sean's next pick is we don't know yet because you have to make your 4th and final pick, sir.
I'm glad that you're talking about Sean so much because my fourth and final pick.
Oh,
This is my beautiful pick. This is my
This is
pick.
the pick of the week. This is the hammer with the 49ers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Forward, I mean,
No,
four and
I'm
one away from
actually
home.
gonna give Sean a chance to go against me with the 49ers because yo boy is taking Russ Wilson up there in the 12th man and give me that candy, baby. I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks plus
Dude,
3. The birds are gonna fly high
dude,
come
I'm telling you, like,
1:25 p.m. Pacific,
so
baby.
3-8, 1-4 on the road. They can't score worth a lick. Why is the 49ers only favored by 3.5? Right?
You know why, baby. Debo, I don't know if he's playing. I don't give a damn if he's playing.
No.
Don't want the points. Don't need the points. Give me the money line. Honorable mention plus 150, baby. Okay? Honorable mention. Seattle Seahawks. Pick of the week. TCB, baby.
Okay. So Sean's taking his final pick. He's
San Francisco.
no, he's not going. He actually didn't put down. He
What?
actually didn't put down San Francisco. He actually didn't put down. He's taking the Indianapolis Colts on the road in Houston -9. So he is laying wood this week. Sean is laying 23, 28.
Jesus.
He's laying 37 total points this week. Mr. Powers is.
All favorites?
Yep.
This is the week that we. Jeez. Minus 13,
I mean, Sean goes
minus
3 and
10.
1. Sean goes 3 and 1, and then he takes every single favorite. The only two in his whole big list of teams that he picked, he only took Pittsburgh and the Chargers as dogs.
Combined my 37, he's laying 37 total points. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of teams won't even score that this weekend. Okay, so what am I gonna do? I mean, crap. I have to, dude. I'm gonna do it.
You're pretty diverse right now too. You're looking like me. I'm -2.5, -2.5, +4.5, and +3.
I'm going. I have to go. I have to do it.
I'm giving up less than a touchdown.
It looked so weird to me. They've been playing so well. The Chargers give up so many points. Like, why are they only favored by 3? And they always say that the home team gets 3 anyway. So this is basically a pick 'em. Like, I have to go LAC. I have to go
LAC.
I have to go LAC +3. I have to. It's just too weird. I have to.
Okay.
I'm going the Chargers +3. My honorable mention was that the Eagles have been playing so up and down. I took them last week, or no, did I take them last week? I'm not sure if I took them. I don't think I took them last week, but they played like donkey crap and they lost to the Giants, and now they're going on the road to the Jets, who had a pretty good win against the Houston Texans. So I was going to take the Eagles -6.5, only having to win by a touchdown in New York. New York at home usually disappoints their fans. Doesn't matter if it's the Giants or the Jets, but I don't know that's
What's your honorable mention?
my honorable mention is the Eagles -6.5. Just like they were 2 weeks ago, and I did win that game. But then again, I gave a second honorable mention and picked Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers, and they got killed that week. Browns, Packers, Titans, and Panthers are the 4 buys this week. So good luck to everyone who's making their picks. I believe that Aaron made his picks too. Did he already make his picks? I think he went a solid 2-2 last week. Aaron, let me see. Aaron, he went Chargers -3, so loss. Packers +2, a win. Vikings +3.5, I think that was a loss. And Ravens -3, a win. So he went 2-2, same as me. He hasn't made his picks yet, but good luck to everyone out there. Please make your picks again if you're watching. There is still time. There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Unbelievably, there's a long.
So this is obviously the cutoff for fans. So there's 5 more weeks. If you can get me picks for these last 5 weeks of the season, I will take your winning percentage against Aaron, because he's like the only one who's actually been consistently sending me picks. But yeah, every week 4 games against the spread. Any 4 games, send it to us via email or Instagram or social media DMs. But that is it. I take New England, Arizona, Washington, and the Chargers. Mark has taken the Raiders, the Steelers, the Bills, and the Seahawks. And Sean's taken the Rams, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, and the Colts. Mark, anything else before we send 134 away? I'm done, dude. Let's send it off to the fans.
Definitely. It's been a fun time coming. Obviously, getting situated and getting back in the saddle. missing 1/3 of our podcasting counterpart with Sean. Obviously, we love him here to talk about all the streaming services with you and all the streaming stuff. That's not really my forte. It is for Sean. So hopefully we get him back. Hopefully his son gets invited into this world with many, many blessings in a very safe manner and as healthy as can be for the little baby. But yes, man, we can't wait to have him back. We can't wait to have you guys listen to this episode, the comic bookie fans out there. As always, we say it every single time, a couple times an episode, but this podcast is always and always will, hopefully, maybe, if unless we get big and start making all types of buku bucks, but it is brought to you by Treasure Island Comics in Fremont, California. Check them out on social media at ticomics.com. Is a great place to get books, all types of back issues. Alex is always buying collections, buying people's books. So man, shit, man, I might have to go see him, give him something out of my books, be in the boxes in my room. But nonetheless, he's always buying all types of collections. Check out his website. Check him out if you live in the Bay Area. Make a drive down there to Fremont, California. He's been real good to us. He'll be even better to you, the fans. And yeah, fun times, man. The turkey is over. Now we just getting ready for presents under the tree, elf on the shelf, and all types of family, friends, all types of great desserts, all types of food, all types. This is one of the times of the year. Didn't even get to mention it, but yes, Lionel Messi, your Ballon d'Or winner, obviously winning that, the Copa, what is it, the South American Cup that he did with Argentina, finally won an international trophy with his team, helped them propel him to that Ballon d'Or win. I guess you could say it's appreciated, and I'd like to see Ronaldo get another one day, but first he needs to make that World Cup as Portugal still needs to advance. But thank you, fans. Thank you, everybody out there. Thank you for tuning into 134. And we appreciate you. We really do. Always join our little mini contest. Email us your picks. We will add you guys in. And thank you, Mike. Take us away. This has been great. I can't wait to get it in again. 135. We're approaching 150 really quick. So, and let's make it out to WonderCon, man. SDCC. Let's make it out to one of those. But WonderCon's sounding pretty good right now. So, we might have to promote something. We might have to be out there and have a little bit of fun with the fans, interact, get some facial time, some FaceTime with some people out there. So, yeah.
I'm down, dude.
Excited.
I'm down.
Excited for the week. Excited for my picks. Excited to go 4-0. And let's go, baby.
I'm down, dude. I'm down. Especially one of those Comic-Cons. I can't wait. But yeah, just to give out a few stats, unfortunately, there's no new countries. We did not hit country number 40 on the TCB passport. But, dude, just a couple shout-outs to the consistent downloads in Belgium, in Canada. Whoever's downloading us in Newfoundland, in Canada, is like much appreciated. And, of course, United States of America, thank you so much to I think at least half of the states have at least downloaded us one time as far as we've been keeping track. To our top 5 over the last 10 episodes, coming in at number 1, again, New York, obviously the San Francisco Bay Area, and then out here in the Valley, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, and then rounding out the top 5 is Los Angeles and Mark's favorite city of Las Vegas, Nevada. So that is it for episode 134. I had a blast colliding the worlds of sports and comics. As we transition from Thanksgiving to the Christmas time, please be safe. There's, craziness going on with people robbing stores and people drinking an extra, trying to stay warm and drinking and driving. So please, everyone, stay cautious and safe out there. But for Sean, who hopefully, fingers crossed, has a baby by this time next week, and for this beautiful guy sitting across from me on Skype is Mark. I am Mike. This is the Comic Bookies Podcast. Enjoy the sports, enjoy the comics, and eat the hell out of each other. Goodbye. Peace out. We will see you next week.
Don't eat that. Please don't eat the hell out of each other. But yes, please always enjoy each other. and enjoy all those loved ones next to you. The holidays are coming close. We're here. We're approaching Christmas, whether you're religious or not. Jesus' birthday. So yes, let's enjoy and have a little bit of fun because we never know when it's going to end. But this podcast is ending now. We love you, TCB fans. Let's start December off with the bang. This is the first, so this is the time to get right. Let's go, baby. TCB, we love you. Peace.